So this was the third of five movies that I binged. And this one I watched yesterday, so sorry if my memory's a little foggy. But a beautiful day in the neighborhood was actually the best of all the ones I watched, of the five. Which, I mean, I guess shouldn't be surprising, but literally everyone assumed that would be the most boring one. Like, just looking at the trailers, you're like, this looks boring as heck. I mean, I get that it's all supposed to be so sweet and heartfelt and oh, it just makes you feel so good. Oh, it's so heartwarming. Oh, but just like family movies are so boring. Like, honestly, let's just be real. Like, so boring. So boring. Oh my gosh. But it wasn't. The movie hid so much. The movie just did so much acid and then forgot to tell you about it. And then it was like, hey, I forgot to tell you, you're doing acid too. Ooh. How does it feel? Is it taking effect yet? Because it better be. Do you see the funny ears yet? So I thought when I was watching, I got told straight up lies. Well, not straight up lies, misinterpretations when I went to the movie. I thought the movie was gonna be about child abuse. Oh my gosh! I mean, who rolls into Mr. Rogers like, is this gonna be about child abuse? This movie with the PG rating. But I was like, hey, it has some strong thematic elements. It could happen, you don't know. Because I was told there's a scene where, like, a dad beats up a little boy, which does not happen. But the movie goes so many weird places that I honestly wouldn't even doubt it. And my logic when I heard this was like, yeah, okay, if the whole movie is just addressing why Mr. Rogers took it really dark and really serious, that one odd episode where he addresses, like, I think there's an episode where he addressed child abuse or something dark and mature like that. And I did hear that the movie addressed dark and mature themes like that. So, like, in my mind, this all clicked and made sense. But the movie never goes remotely near that. It doesn't touch that with a 50-foot pole. So here I am looking like a straight up psycho, like, where's the child abuse? And everyone's like, is this guy okay? Do we need to, like, call the cops on this guy? He's like, I'm confused. Where's the child abuse in my wholesome Mr. Rogers movie? So everyone thinks I look insane. And, like, then insane stuff does happen in the movie. And I mean, at the beginning of the movie, I was still thinking it was gonna happen, because I was like, oh, the ears are ringing whenever Chris Cooper comes in. And I was like, oh, okay, that's because the main character was beat up by Chris Cooper as a child, because, you know, American Beauty. And, like, and that's, no, not even, no. Why? So whoever told me that had some serious, I don't know what version of the movie they were watching, but I am very curious what made them say that to me. I don't know if they were joking when they were saying that. I have no idea. But let's talk about the actual movie. So it's like wholesome and like really good, but it's also like super weird and like kind of unsettling and disturbing in places. Maybe it was unsettling and disturbing because I was expecting the non-existent child abuse that never happens, but hey, I mean, to each their own. You can take whatever interpretation of art you want. So, like, if you want Chris Cooper to bop his adult son in the face during the fight scene towards the beginning of the movie, and that was your misinterpretation, then whatever. but he's still not a little boy getting abused. That never happened. So I'm still confused about that comment, which seriously confused my experience of it, a still really good movie. But yeah, the movie just has like these unsettling ways of presenting things. Like it's so delirious and almost David Lynchian. It's weird. But I really dug it. I dug how out there it got. And then it also was like easy to connect with. Yeah, it does have those soft little like, oh, it tugs on your heartstrings moments. And that's also kind of funny. But the part I didn't expect about the movie that really hit home with me was how it really humanized Fred Rogers. Like there's like how the main character said, like there's Mr. Rogers and then there's Fred Rogers, which wasn't the right way to like look at obviously, but like at the same time I did like that he looked at that way because Fred Rogers was like a human being, like he had all these faults and he tried to like cover it up for like all these people because he wanted to show them a better way to deal with it, and like he wanted to show them like he struggled with like all these things, but he like wanted to do something constructive with it. And like there is just like showing these flaws was like much more impactful than just showing, oh, it's Mr. Rogers, isn't he so great? So I'm glad that they did that. That they're like, no, he's not just some perfect, unattainable person. He's this guy who has problems, who has flaws, and he has a temper that can get out of hand sometimes, but he's trying to be better and trying to control it. So I really liked that element of the movie, and I really wasn't expecting it. So I'm glad that they had that in there. And yeah, there's just a lot to admire about this movie. Like, all of its presentation was just really cool, from the cinematography to, like, its musical score. And yeah, it was just, the performances were pretty good. Uh, I was told a lot of things in advance, but still didn't, like, properly prepare me. And yeah, it was just, like, really effective. This one I'd give, like, an 8.25, maybe 8.5. Yeah, out of 10. What else? Trying to think, is there anything else to comment on with this one? I think that might be it. Yeah, I think it's the best one of all the ones I watched. It was really good. You need to see this one. Even if you think you won't like it, you definitely need to see this one. It's really good. Even if you think, it's too mainstream, it's too child friendly, blah 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 blah. It feels like an adult's film. It's weird. Because, like, yes, it's PG. Yes, it is, like, one of these heartfelt drama films. But, like, what it does with the material, it feels like a movie made for adults, even though, like, it's about this guy who did stuff made for children. It's interesting. I really liked it. So, yeah. On to the fourth movie, then. Yeah, this will be Color Out Space next, the end of yesterday.